All right, everyone, back at 11 minutes after. Tyco has completed the spin-off of its healthcare and electronics units. The three independent companies, they do begin regular trading on the New York Stock Exchange this morning, and that's why Tyco is our stock to watch on this Monday. Joining us with his views on the three separate companies is Steve Haight. He's analyst at National City Corp. His firm owns more than 1 million Tyco shares. He comes to us from Cleveland, Ohio this morning. Steve, good morning.
Morning.
So as you know, the Tyco spin-off officially completed. You've got shares of the three companies beginning trading today. You guys own shares. What are you going to be watching for as those three companies, the shares begin trading?
Well, we're going to definitely be interested in seeing how the two spin-off companies trade today. I think that there are some significant reservations being voiced around the street and by longtime shareholders about the actual future outlook for these two firms. What
are the reservations specifically?
Well, I would go right at the healthcare unit specifically. The R&D has been underinvested in for a number of years. It's now going to be competing against peer group companies that have invested much more heavily in their product pipeline. Going forward, you're going to have to see that firm spend a lot more money just to be competitive.
Interesting. Now, you're going to own shares, correct, in all three companies?
That's correct.
Are you going to be selling? Like Covidien doesn't sound like you're too keen on. Would you be selling it?
Well, the interesting thing is, too, around on the buy side at least, that you're going to see different analysts being in charge of deciding the fate of these companies. It's no longer an industrial. So, I think that we're going to take a look at it and see if it fits with our healthcare focus as we look going forward.
You mentioned the bond side of things. Let me bring in Matt Miller, because we were just talking about the bondholder suit that's still out there. Matt.
Yeah, Steve, I was actually wondering, is this a case of bondholders trying to use their power as leverage to get a bigger payoff, or are they really against the breakup? And also, do you think that they'll be able to continue using this leverage even after the split has gone through?
Well, I think that there really aren't any investors who are against the breakup. This was a company that was put together in a very much a roll-up fashion, and it never got the benefits of being a conglomerate. That being said, I think the bondholders definitely are trying to use their situation as some leverage to try to get some more money out of the company. The company took advantage of a clause in the indenture that should be defensible in court, but we'll have to wait and see.
What side are you on? What side are you on, Steve?
I think that the company should prevail going forward. I mean, the indenture agreement was what everybody understood was the way that things were going to be, and bondholders have a hard time getting around clauses in indentures.
Okay, but it's not going to be an overhang on the stock at this point, in your view?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay, let's talk about the breakup a little bit more. What do you see as the total value of the breakup?
Well, I think that actually that the company in total was fairly valued as it went out on Friday. I think that the stock, Tyco, the old Tyco shares, had run pretty nicely into the split, and that there really weren't a whole lot of benefits to be seen by the company's new shareholders as the thing was broken up. So I would tell you that we think that things were pretty fairly valued as of Friday.
All right, and you do recommend that investors hold all three stocks at this point, but would you be adding to your position at this point?
No, we would not be adding to our positions here at National City. I think that the company that has the most attraction to us possibly going forward is the Tyco stub. The company has tremendous cash flow generation capabilities. So that being said, it is fairly valued at current prices.
All right, interesting. But what do you expect in terms of then the share prices for these three? Do you expect them to move higher at this point, or are you going to pretty much stay as they open today?
I think that when they open today, that you're going to see them stay pretty much flat with where when issued trading was on Friday.
Right.
Maybe there could be a move 3 to 5% in either direction based on investors deciding that they didn't want to hold the shares that they ended up with.
Do you think that the split, ultimately, Steve, will be successful in kind of improving returns for investors longer term?
I think it certainly will for Tyco stub shareholders. The company really was stuck in a couple of businesses that were not performing well.
Right.
Tyco Electronics is going to be, and Tyco Healthcare, Covidien, those may be different stories.
All right, interesting. Hey, listen, was it on Friday, I think S&P lowered its credit rating on Tyco International, saying the spinoff leaves the company smaller and less diverse. That is true, but you don't necessarily see that as a bad thing.
Not necessarily at all, especially considering the cash flow generation capabilities of the businesses that Ed Breen is going to have under his control. And he's got a great track record of cost cutting. And there definitely is still low-hanging fruit at Tyco International to be had.
So you anticipate Ed Breen, the CEO, is going to spin off some more businesses for Tyco International?
I think that he's going to do some cost cutting. I think there's going to be rationalization of the manufacturing footprint, certainly.
Do any of these companies become takeover targets in your view?
I think that's difficult to say. I think that the stub company could be attractive to private equity in the future based on the strong cash flow generation out of the ADT unit. I don't really think that the healthcare or the Tyco Electronics spins are going to be particularly attractive because they're going to be eating cash flow instead.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Steve, thanks for taking some time out for us this morning. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, Steve Haight, analyst at National City, also Tyco shareholder.